The Adventures of Man Sponge and Boy Patrick and Goodness Man Ray. Chapter 12, Goodness Rules, the last chapter. Back outside the Merma Lair, Man Sponge and Boy Patrick were still caught in the befuddling rays coming from the Orb of Confusion. Man Sponge said with his tongue hanging out of his mouth. Boy Patrick said with his eyes crossed. Man Ray calmly walked up and switched off the orb. Man Sponge said. Then the confusion left him. He looked up and saw the arch-villain he'd been trying to stop. Man Ray! He gasped. Man Ray held up a friendly hand in a gesture of peace. No need to be alarmed, SpongeBob, he said. That's Man Sponge, he corrected. Whatever, Man Ray said. Your teachings have transformed me. Man Sponge was astonished. You mean you aren't evil anymore? Man Ray shook his head. Nope. You tickled the evil right out of me. Then he held up his new checkbook and smiled. Besides, he added, I have checks with little poodles on them. Man Sponge leaned forward to look at the checks. Sure enough, they featured pictures of adorable little poodles. I won't be needing this anymore, Man Ray said, taking off the metal glove he'd stolen from the Merma Lair. He handed it to Man Sponge. Thanks, SpongeBob said, staggering a little under the weight of the heavy glove. Man Ray smiled, then he turned and strolled away. As he went, he waved back over his shoulder. Farewell, fellow do-gooders. Bye, Man Ray, Man Sponge called, waving. He turned to his sidekick. Wow, Boy Patrick, we did it! We saved the day! We did? Boy Patrick asked. We sure did! We took an evil arch-villain and we turned him to good. He'll never bother anyone in Bikini Bottom again, Man Sponge cheered. Wow, Boy Patrick said. It's like we're superheroes or something. Man Sponge nodded. That's because we are superheroes. We're Man Sponge and Boy Patrick. They pumped their fists and jumped in the air. What a triumph! What an achievement! What an accomplishment! Merman Man and Barnacle Boy themselves couldn't have done it better. The end.